indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty, thank you, and welcome everybody to our meeting for April 26, 2022. First item of business is that we approve the minutes of our previous meeting of April 12th, 2022. Unless there are questions or changes, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the same.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded, all those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Okay, the bills, Rob.
Domestic relations, $5,157.53, and children and youth, $483,794.40, for a total of $2,504,709.68.
Thank you, Rob. Unless there are questions or concerns, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the bills as presented by the controller.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded, all those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, guys, give us a second to sign the paperwork. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, there he is. Okay, we have some personnel issues for our consideration. Under new hires, we have a temporary part-time Department Clerk 2 in the Elections Office, effective April 21st, 2022. We have a transfer to approve. Our interim IT director will now become our Director of IT Services, effective April 26th, 2022. Under separations, retirements, we have an administrative assistant at our Recreation and Tourism Office, effective April 28th, 2022. And also a field assessor at the Assessment Office, effective April 29th, 2022. And finally, under one item, we do have a request for leave under the Federal Family Medical Leave Act by one of our employees, effective from April 18th, 2022 to May 17th, 2022. Unless there are some other personnel changes for our consideration that I'm not aware of, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the same.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded, all those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, public comment. Is there anyone here for public comment? Doesn't look like it. I don't have anything under old business. Under new business, we have a request that we proclaim May as National Foster Care Month. We have Jennifer Teets with us today. Jennifer, you have the floor. If you would like to use the podium with and turn the microphone on, that'd be fine. And okay, very good. Very good. And if there are some folks here with you today, make sure you introduce them at some point. Thank you.
To recognize the approximately 400,000 children and youth living in foster care, as well as the foster parents, the child welfare workers, the advocates, the mentors, who work tirelessly day in and day out to provide these children and youth with a safe family environment to thrive. So I'm here today along with Veronica Wendell and Taylor Park, who are foster care caseworkers for Children's Aid Society, to ask the commissioners of Clearfield County to proclaim May as National Foster Care Month. By doing so, Children's Aid Society hopes to bring attention to the fact that there are many children who have suffered abuse and neglect that are in need of a foster family to provide them with a safe, secure family environment. Currently, there are more children who need a foster home than there are actually foster families to provide that home environment for them. Not just in May, but all year long, it is the hope of Children's Aid Society that are families within the community who would be willing to take a chance and become a foster parent and possibly change the life of a child forever. So I want to thank you, the Clearfield County Commissioners, for this opportunity to speak today on behalf of all the children in foster care and the foster parents who provide for them on a daily basis. And I have a copy of the proclamation if you don't have it.
No, Yeah, we have one, Jennifer. Thank you. And certainly on behalf of the Clearfield County Commissioners, we want to thank all our foster parents and the agencies that are involved with them and support them. You're absolutely right, Jennifer. I don't know what, we've got a lot of responsibility that the Commonwealth has imposed on the county to take care of children in need and in trouble, and I don't know what we would do without our foster care system. We would certainly be in trouble. Um, fellas, unless you want to add something, I'll be happy to read the proclamation proposed into the record. Whereas the family serving as the primary source of love, identity, self-esteem, and support is the very foundation of our communities and our state. Whereas nationally there are more than 400,000 children in foster care and 14,000 in Pennsylvania. Whereas all young people in foster care need a meaningful connection to someone who can be a support and lasting presence in their lives. Whereas foster, kinship, and adoptive families who open their hearts and homes to children whose families are in crisis play a vital role in helping children and families heal and reconnect, thereby launching young people into successful adulthood. Whereas dedicated foster families frequently adopt foster children, resulting in a greater need for more foster families, there are numerous individuals and organizations who work to increase public awareness of the needs of children in and leaving foster care, as well as the enduring and valuable contribution of foster parents. Foster care system is only as good as those who choose to be a part of it. Now, therefore, the Commissioners of Clearfield County do hereby proclaim May as National Foster Care Month in Clearfield County and urge all citizens to come forward and do something positive that will change a lifetime for a young person in foster care. Okay, that having been read in the record, can I have a motion that we proclaim May as Foster Care Month, National Foster Care Month in Clearfield County?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded, all those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, guys. And Jennifer, if you and your associates want to come up here and get a picture taken, we'll arrange for that. And guys, did you you guys get their names?
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Jennifer? Foster Care Program Manager.
Jennifer, do you need more than one signed copy, or? Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. And guys, as we tell everyone, you're welcome. You're more than welcome to stay, but we certainly understand if you have other things to do with your time. So. Yep. Thank
Yeah,
you.
welcome.
Okay. Item under 2 under new business is to proclaim May as Mental Health Awareness Month, and we have Joan Seltzer with us here today. Joan, the floor is yours. And again, if you would like to use the podium and the microphone, you're welcome.
Public Relations Specialist with Center, and I'm here today to ask the Commissioners to declare May as Mental Health Awareness Month. If COVID taught us anything, it identified that mental health issues can affect all ages, and they can have lasting impacts. And now on top of that, we've got the rapidly increasing prices, which can add a financial strain to families and individuals, creating more stress within the family. And we also watch the news now, and it's filled with images of the war in Ukraine, which can have more impact on both young people and old people alike. Children especially maybe don't remember any other time when they've seen those types of images, so that can increase the number of mental health issues that they're facing, in addition to all those stresses that they already have in their lives. So with that in mind, we're asking that you declare May as Mental Health Awareness Month, so we can make people aware of the importance of having support for those who are suffering with issues.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joanne. Do we get? Oh, here we go. Alrighty, guys.
Um,
Go ahead, Dave.
just to your point, you'll notice item number 6 is a resolution also that we're going to try to get more funding for mental health. It is CCAP, which is our association's number one priority this year. So you're definitely hitting on something.
Yeah, good timing. Yeah, so thank you. Whereas mental health is an essential part of overall health, whereas 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 5 children experience mental health issues every year, 61% of adults have experienced at least one traumatic event in their lifetime, whereas half of all mental health disorders begin before age 14, whereas 70 to 90% of individuals have a significant reduction of symptoms and an improved quality of life with mental health treatment, whereas every citizen can help to end the stigma of mental illness to ensure help is found when it's needed. Now, therefore, we, the Clearfield County Commissioners, do hereby declare May 2022 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Clearfield County and call observance to the attention of all citizens. Can I have a motion that we declare May as Mental Health Awareness Month in Clearfield County?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and Joanne, why don't you come on up here and get your picture taken? So we'll get the Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Item number 3, we're to consider provider agreement and service provider agreement with Avanco for the child accounting profile system used by CYS. Heather.
This is an annual agreement we have with Avanco. This has to deal with the reporting software that CYS uses. The agreement is effective July 1st of 2022. Included with it is a provider agreement and a service provider agreement. Those also include the necessary HIPAA and a consulting agreement for assistance if we need it. The cost to the county for it is a price of $2,403.14. So again, annual agreement, no changes from prior years. This is again just to keep our systems up to date with the reporting requirements for CYS. So that's been approved as to its form this morning.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion that we approve the provider agreement and service provider agreement with Avanco for CYS?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 4, consider professional service agreement with Mission Critical Partners. Now, this was touched on in one of our earlier meetings. This is Mission Critical is a company that we have discussed the possibility of asking to do a study as far as this is the broadband one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, this is do a study as to our broadband needs in Clearfield County. They're already engaged with Jefferson County, and Elk County is looking at involving themselves with them. So it certainly would have a regional component to it, which we see as a good thing. Obviously, broadband going into the 21st century will be a critical need in rural Pennsylvania, rural America for that matter. And but as I think Commissioner Glass indicated in one of our earlier meetings, for us to be able to address it and be able to take advantage of American Rescue Act monies, other monies they're now becoming available, we have to know what the need is, and we have to need how we can best spend that money. So that is for our consideration today. And the amount involved, guys, I think the cost. Okay. And Heather, you did review the same, correct?
We will have to issue a notice to proceed with funding agreement, but the agreement essentially following up on the prior meeting, they do a study of the broadband. As far as the agreement is just for that specific purpose. There is a team other than that, report itself, but again, it's for the broadband to assist with trying to get funds and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's appropriate to talk about some of the things that will be reported. They'll do a number of things. They'll talk to the different providers that already provide in the county and figure out exactly what speeds they're offering and exactly where the edges of their service areas are. I know that can be a little bit confusing. Like we've been here in Clearfield, we've got freeze lines, but you go just barely outside of town and you don't have that. So figuring out where those cutoffs are, and then for areas that aren't necessarily covered by strong broadband, there'll be a survey component, and there'll be more details to follow on that. I know I've had a fair number of citizens bring up the legitimate concern that, well, if we don't have good broadband and you do an online survey, how are we going to be able to do this? But we have some ideas on that. More info to follow. But Elk County had a really good idea. But I don't know if you saw that, but we'll get to that. But I think we can meet people where they are. But the more people that participate, the better data we can have. And the better data we have, the more we'll be able to fix this problem as quickly as possible. I do want to point out that this survey is the jumping off point. This survey will take several months. And even after we have that, to then figure out exactly what we're going to do, in the best case, will take several years. So I know I've already had people say, well, when am I going to get my broadband? This is the starting point. It's going to take some time. So I just want to set some realistic expectations about when we're going to be able to get this finalized.
Yeah, and it's exciting. There's so much opportunity now. There are so many small home-based businesses starting. That was if there was a positive result, and unfortunately, I don't know that you could look at it this way, but one of the results of the pandemic was folks working at home, and for that type of activity to be important and be viable in our local economy, we have to have good broadband. And so this is an exciting opportunity where perhaps this can be the beginning of a whole new segment of the economy based on home-based businesses, even here in rural Pennsylvania, where there's a tremendous amount of talent, tremendous amount of skill, an awful lot of folks with an awful lot of smarts. They just need the opportunity to be able to put it into play. So, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for your comments, everybody. Is there a motion that we enter into the professional service agreements with mission critical partners to get broadband improvement started in Clearfield County?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We have a vehicle parking lease agreement with Clearfield Rentals LLC, which I know a lot of our employees have been waiting with bated breath for. So, Heather, did you get it? I know you were integral in developing the same. So,
Yes, the agreement is ready for your consideration. It is for the Locust Street lot that we're referring to it, obviously close to the administrative building. Essentially, it's a month-to-month lease that will go on for 30 spots in there. Fairly standard and similar to our other parking leases. So it's been reviewed and approved as to its form, as well as it has been approved by Clearfield Rentals as to its requirements there.
Okay.
State.
yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I think it's important to note that this is going to be CYS parking, and that CYS will be, picking up the tab as part of their budget, which is reimbursable for the most part. So.
Yeah, so this will not increase expenditures for. I mean, we'll be reimbursed. It won't. The net result will not be an increased expenditures by Clearfield County government. So, and we want to thank Clearfield Rentals LLC for their cooperation in the matter. And I believe it goes into effect May 1st. Yes. Is that correct? Okay. All righty. And we'll take steps to make sure that. The nice thing about it is Children and Youth Services will be able to use that parking lot. It will free up parking in our other lot, which will enable our other employees to be able to take advantage of parking much closer to the building. So, all right, is there a motion that we approve the vehicle parking lease agreement with Clearfield Rentals?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you. We are to consider Resolution 2022, number 2, requesting appropriate funding to support the crumbling mental health system for the fiscal year 2022-2023 state budget. And as Commissioner Glass had touched on this earlier when we had the presentation from Ms. Seltzer, this has become a very important issue for the County Commissioners Association in Pennsylvania, particularly this year. The Commonwealth has imposed a lot of obligation on the part of counties to provide basic mental health systems. Yet, unless there is the financial support to back that up, the counties wind up with another unfunded mandate. So many of these mental health services are based on intervention. I'm going to call it intervention-based services. They keep students in the classroom. They keep individuals out of the county jail, which the taxpayers wind up therefore paying for. And they just keep they help people, and they keep life a little bit more pleasant here in the county. And again, these are obligations imposed upon the counties by the Commonwealth. So we are asking, as indicated by CCAP, the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, that the Commonwealth put their money where the mouth is, basically. And if we are to provide these services, which are vital, that the Commonwealth support the same appropriately. Heather, have you? No, I'm sorry. I think this is just a resolution. This is not something. Yeah, we don't need to do anything else. Do we have a?
Yeah, it's right there.
I have it right.
The thing about it is,
Thank you.
everybody that I've talked to recognizes that we have a mental health crisis. We probably had one before COVID, but we've certainly had, some of the offshoots of the pandemic have been serious mental health crises at all levels, from school-age children up to our oldest citizens. And I think it is time for the state to take this seriously, not just with words, but with financial backing.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
rather than just say that, oh, well, the county and the local governments know what's best for them, but never provide any funding, because that's
Mhm.
where we're stuck at. And, we do have, citizens that need mental assistance, and as, Commissioner Sobel has said, sometimes when these things are overlooked, we do end up with a higher prison population, and then they just keep going back into the system, and they don't get the help that they need.
Exactly. So, okay. Well, I will read that into the record at this point. It's a little lengthy, so I will try to abbreviate a little bit here. But this is a resolution by the Clearfield County Board of Commissioners requesting appropriate funding to support the mental health system in the fiscal year 2022-2023 state budget. Counties provide essential community-based mental health services such as crisis intervention, community residential programs, family-based support, and outpatient care, and are critical to the well-being of our constituents and our community. Whereas, as the providers of the same, counties are seeing demands for mental health services in communities that far exceed state funding levels, and without adequate and sustainable funding, counties may not be able to meet the needs of some of our most valuable residents. In 2012, the Commonwealth cut $84 million that counties used to fund programs for people with intellectual disabilities, mental health challenges, and other needs, forcing programs to close and putting a human service system into a vulnerable state. Membership of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania made this the top priority of the association's advocacy in 2022. And whereas state funding has lagged behind needs and caseloads for years, which has negatively affected services, putting tension on communities and local budgets, the Center for Rural Progress published a report on suicide trends and prevention in rural Pennsylvania, counties, and schools, and key findings including a steep rise in suicides in Pennsylvania over the past 2 decades, and it was a greater increase in rural communities. Governor Wolf's initial budget proposal included supporting behavioral health needs of Pennsylvania by investing $36.6 million additional funds in community mental health on top of $75 million in federal funds for the same, as well as $18.8 million to provide services for individuals with intellectual disabilities and autism currently on the emergency wait list. Whereas Clearfield County has invested in community-based mental health services to coordinate and invest in programs, services that meet the needs and challenges of local communities, including Community Connections of Clearfield and Jefferson County, Service Access and Management, Penn Highlands Behavioral Health Community Guidance Center, Sinclair, and whereas counties will need collaboration between the legislature and administration to work closely with them on targeted strategic investment dollars into community mental health services at the county level. It is resolved that the Clearfield County Board of Commissioners do hereby support an increase in funding for community mental health-based programs in accordance with the priorities of the County Commissioner Association of Pennsylvania by the General Assembly Administration. Resolved, Clearfield County Board of Commissioners will submit this resolution and accompanying letter of support to the regional state representatives, senators, and provide copies to the State Department of Human Services and the Governor's Office in an effort to respectfully request the Administration and General Assembly take steps to address our crumbling mental health system. adopted by the Board of Commissioners on the 26th day of April 2022. Is there a motion that we approve resolution number 2022, number 2?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay. Next item on the agenda, we're looking for permission to advertise bids for the prison parking lot repairs and paving, which very badly needs it. Any
I do believe a draft was sent out and reviewed, and it's been approved, and it's ready for publication.
Okay.
If the commissioners so decide.
Okay, all right, then. Is there a motion that we advertise bids for the prison parking lot repair and paving?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
We're to consider a foster parent liability insurance renewal.
Again, this is an annual renewal of our insurance policy that'll be effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023. This is based on 40 families, which is the average we've had per month over the last year. So again, it's our standard agreement with them and has been reviewed.
Thank you. Thank you. Do I have a motion that we renew our foster parent liability insurance?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
We have a copy of our lease with DBB.
One of our standard agreements with DBB with the terms that the county does require as far as removal of equipment. This is for a 4-year lease at $174.22 per month. It looks like it's for the annex. I'm not sure specifically what office though.
I'm not sure if this is the one for the DA or assessment.
Oh, we did that.
We did DA last.
We did
Okay,
it.
assessment.
Okay.
It's assessment.
Sorry about that.
So it'd be for the assessment office, but again, our standard one with DBB.
Thank you. Do we have a motion that we approve the copy of this?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion having properly moved and seconded. All those in favor so signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Solicitors report, Heather.
I do not have anything additional this morning.
Okay, very good. Is there anything for the good of the order, guys? There being none, I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I know you need to sign something.